Cocaine conquerors. Is that the lyrics of that song?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The one that Josh gets up and they'll play it. Oh, he's dancing. He's in it. He's dancing. He's getting that one. Remember, don't be like groping all over the mic, all right?
Groping.
Yes. Stop. Bo, I'm gonna get you a mat, and then I'm gonna call it Kevin's little tap mat, so you can be over there in your own world, and not.
I'm a tapper. I teach tapping class.
Tap dancer. That's about your speed. I don't think they can.
Yeah,
Huh?
I've been a good actor in my silent movies.
You know, they still had to talk in the silent movies. They just had to type out the words.
I ain't never heard them talk.
Don't be sliding that thing. Look at that. That right there was you sliding it. Bo.
You had to. You know what you're gonna have to do? You had to. You ever seen them?
How about I glue it down to the thing?
Police officers with it. Handcuff hands to the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you need to do to me.
That's crazy.
I can't be still, bro.
Well, it's alright. I move around too, but I'm not like smacking my mic around and breathing into it, and I'm not over here. So y'all know today, yo. I said it where I want it, and I don't touch it. Okay. Listen, everybody. Hope everybody had a good week. Happy Mother's Day, by the way. I mean, when this is uploaded, it'll be Mother's Day, but for us, it's Saturday.
Yep.
So, happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to say is Happy Mother's Day to everybody. And especially Happy Mother's Day to my mom.
Same. And when we say Happy Mother's Day to everybody, we mean moms. Because, you know, only moms are mothers. You see how that works? That's why they call it Mother's Day. But you know what it is. Now, before we go into it, the format has changed. Okay? Here's why. We are only doing the biblical question. You know, our theological question of the week is now turning into our theological question of the month. We'll do it once a month. Now hold your horses. Everybody calm down. We're doing that because A, trying to find a theological question for every single week is a lot harder than you think. Just sit down for 2 months and try to pick a theological question for every week and answer it. Alright? And 2, if we do it once a month, that makes it a whole lot easier on us to really dive deep into giving a thoughtful and researched well answer. Because you got to think about it. We only get 7 days in between podcasts. That's not a lot of time. Sometimes our theological questions can be very complicated. So if we have a month to prepare, then that gives us a lot of time to give you a very thoughtful, thorough answer. Alright? Now that's that. But we are not stopping our theological topics. So in place of a theological question of the week, we're going to have a Bible verse of the week from both of us. Now this week, it's only going to be from me because I dropped the ball and I didn't tell him that we were starting this this week. So it will be one from me and one from him, and we'll give a very brief explanation of why we chose that verse and what we think about it. So at least we'll be having some sort of biblical theme at the end of the video. Alright? So, like I said, I'll be doing it this week, and then next week, it'll be both of us. So, hope that's okay with everybody. It's going to have to be, because that's how it is. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, hopefully we can provide some comedy and entertainment. A very rare thing on this, but we'll see. We've actually been doing fairly well on the Facebook side of things. A couple thousand views every other video. Majority of the time, we get over 100 views on our shorts, the short reels. YouTube, that's in second place. We get a couple of views on the shorts, maybe 400 every occasion. TikTok, we get like nothing on TikTok. 1 or 2 views or no views. And then Spotify, 0 views. So here's the thing. If you know our YouTube page and our TikTok page, which I will put that information in this video, make sure you share it, because that's the only way we can grow is by your help. I can do it. I could find ways to push us out there, but at the end of the day, it's really going to be you guys. So you've been doing great so far. Just keep doing what you're doing. It takes a little time. We get that. We've been doing this for what?
10 years.
This would be episode 15. So we're only 15 episodes in. You know, we've been doing it for a couple months. Takes time, and I get it. But you keep doing what you're doing. We'll keep doing what we're doing, and you know, we'll make it somewhere. All right. That's good. Now, is there anything you'd like to say about that?
No.
Shocker. All right, we're gonna jump in. Everybody that I'm aware of knows what Sesame Street is. All right. Elmo, Big Bird, Oscar the Grouch, the green thing that hangs out in the trash can, Cookie Monster, the Count. Well, unfortunately, one of those characters has hit hard time because a Cookie Monster doll was found to be filled with 11 ounces of cocaine, Colombian dust, by a singular deputy at a traffic stop. When, of course, it's a traffic stop. You stop cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And first off, deputy smelled marijuana. I mean, is that a big surprise? I smell it like everywhere I go nowadays. Secondly, the car windows were super tinted. And you know how that is.
They're painted black.
Yes. Now, obviously the deputy's like, this is a little suspicious. So he brought the fella out, the owner of the car, a Mr. Camus McNair. I'm pretty sure it's Camus, right? Camus. McNair. McNair.
Camus,
39-year-old grown man in the Florida Keys. Well, his car was searched because of the odor, marijuana. That's a what do you call it? Suspicious smell. Reason to search. Like I said, the windows were too tinted, and his license plate was obscured. That's a big no-no. This is in Florida, by the way. I already said that. The Florida Keys. So you already know this guy's probably doing something he's not supposed to be doing.
That's all you need to know.
Florida men, different breed of people. Now, the officer found a book bag, and in the book bag was none other than a Cookie Monster doll himself. But this was no ordinary Cookie Monster doll.
No, I don't think that was the Cookie Monster. I
No.
think that was the cocaine
This
monster.
was the Cocaine Monster. Because...
This is another show here.
What?
You got Cookie Monster, and this is the Cocaine Monster.
Cocaine Monster?
Count Dracula.
Big Bird. What would Big Bird be?
Beagle.
What? Count Dracula. That is amazing. Officer noticed, this Cookie Monster doll don't feel so light. And there was a slit in the back of it. That's only one or two things.
Don't the Cookie Monster said me Cookie?
Yes.
Me Cookie Monster. This one says me crack king. Me cocaine monster.
And there was a slit in the back of it. Now, a slit in the back of a doll means one or two things. Either you're hiding something in it.
Oh, you hide something in it.
Wow. Yeah, you might be hiding something in it, but in a strange way, if you catch my drift here.
That's a whole other story.
That's what I'm saying. So, he opened it up. We found some crack cocaine. You know, the norm, I suppose. Well, according to, now I'm gonna butcher this name, but I'm gonna try my best. Zinnia, is it Zinnia? Zinnia. Zinnia or Zinnia something. Zinnia Health. It's a rehabilitation site. Alright. Just to give you guys a reference here. As of 2023 of September, 1 ounce of cocaine was between $1,100 and $1,800. This man had 11 ounces. Let's do the math here. 11 ounces. That equals between $12,000 and $20,000 of Colombian stardust. All right, of crack, of coke. All right, is that the same thing? Crack and coke?
It's amazing. It's
basically the same thing. All right. Well, that shows my knowledge on drugs. I don't even understand where these people get this money from. $12,000 to $20,000 of crack cocaine. And if you had that money to spend on crack cocaine, you think you could have hit it better than inside of a Cookie Monster doll? Just saying. I don't know. McNair, the Florida man who was caught with it.
At least he didn't have it. He'd like to do in prison.
Up the old human pocket.
Instead of searching the Cookie Monster, he'd have to search him.
Well, we come preloaded with those cracks, but he would have had.
He's preloaded too.
Well, yeah, he would have been. I think he would have gotten a little more trouble. He was jailed, and his bond was set at $7,000. But you know, if this man has between $12,000 and $20,000 of crack cocaine, I don't think $7,000 is a big deal. But I don't know. Maybe he stole it. If that's the case, he's got way more problems. But this isn't crack cocaine, but to the French people, this might as well be. You're never gonna guess. I feel like we have a record on this show every week now. Mm-hmm. But you're never gonna guess what the Frenchies did. Alright? Hold on. I know our last world records have been crazy. Yeah. This one right here. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna download that and use that as my ringtone for you when you send me a message. Do it again. I won't even say that. Because it's going to be my ringtone. Like I said, the Frenchies have done it. They've done it, you guys.
Fine. They've done
it. Bakers, right? Multiple, many, pluralized. French bakers reclaimed the Guinness World Record title for the most French thing ever. The longest baguette. Okay? The longest baguette. A dozen bakers worked from 3 a.m. in the morning until late afternoon, working on the world's longest baguette to reclaim the title from the Italians. That's right, the Italians stole it in 2019 in Como, Italy. Not Cuomo. No, Cuomo, Italy. And they had a baguette that was 433 feet long. You realize how long that is? 433 feet. That's right, Dad. That's a long thing of bread right there. Well, the French bakers, they weren't having this disrespect. All right, you know French people. This is like the holy grail. It's French and wine and cheese, baby. So the baguette is a pride symbol for these people. 320 baguettes are sold every second in France, just to put that in perspective. So they were not having this pizza-loving, dough-loving, I don't know what else Italians do, pasta-loving Italians claiming their title. Okay? What?
Talking about Italian people like that.
I'm just setting the tone. All right?
What is this? Is it something sweet?
What?
That.
A baguette? You know what a baguette is? It's the long piece of bread. It's just a piece of bread. The long piece of bread is like that thick, that long.
Sure?
Yes.
You absolutely positively sure it's just a piece of bread.
Yes.
They don't put that on to make it sweet.
What do we do?
Yeah, what's going on with you?
I'm mocking you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I know for a fact they ain't gonna be able to hear you. So, like I said, they were not taking this from the Italians. So what they did was they made a baguette that was 461 feet. That is nearly 30 extra feet. Just to show the Italians they're not taking this. Alright? But there's some rules. Alright? They had a Guinness World Record official there to make sure everything was spot on. Traditional ingredients. Hygienic laws were being followed. Traditional cooking methods. Alright? Like the oven. And lastly, it had to be one continuous piece with no breaks. In the end, they received the record and they served the baguette to charity and to many French patrons who were just standing by cheering them on. They spread a little bit of chocolate peanut butter on those and served it out to the people.
America probably couldn't break that record.
Why?
Because they'd be eating it while they're making it.
A lot of fat people. A lot of fat people in America.
You said that, man.
I mean...
I just said they're eating it. But they'll eat it. They keep starting over.
Look, if you get offended because I say there's a lot of fat people in America, have you ever been to Walmart? Walk into a Walmart. Just look around. Look, I'm not talking bad about people. This is a visual fact. If I say that car is yellow, I don't hate yellow cars. It's a yellow car. Just take a look around. There's a lot of fat people in America because we can afford to buy food nonstop. So yeah, you're right. Now, just so you know, I got all this information from the French 24. English, that's a public broadcasting service. Just, shout them out. This is where I got this information from. So now they can't sue us. I don't think they could anyway, but yeah. Well, I'll give credit where credit's due. Hey, maybe you want to talk a little more, Kevin. You're resorting back to like episode 2, 3, and 4 of Kevin, just like chilling.
I feel the need to say something, I will.
I'm gonna. Okay. All right.
Sometimes we talk, sometimes we don't.
No, that wouldn't work for me, or we wouldn't have a show. It would just be called Two Men Sit in Silence for 45 minutes.
You see two quiet men sitting here doing a podcast, looking at each other.
What a riveting show that would be. Millions of views too, I bet. All right, this thing is going crazy. Now, we know about politicians, right? We know about candidates. We know about people who...
At least we think we do.
Well, yeah. On the outside. Nice slogans, good speech, sometimes. Unless you're... And that's what you stack the pasta on top, and that's where I learned about roaches. That's what Joe Biden said. Yeah. He said that. It didn't make no sense. Anyway, well, we know how scummy some political figures can be. Well, this story just really puts that out there. Now, just a disclaimer, this isn't all political people. Not every political person is bad. Just a lot of them. So,
most of them.
A man in Lebanon, India, not Lebanon like over in another country. Lebanon, Indiana, I mean. I did say India. Lebanon, Indiana.
We got India?
We have an Indiana.
India?
No, we don't have an India. But, well, I don't know. It depends. Some places you go might look like. In Boone County, it is Indiana, by the way, Lebanon, was sentenced to lesser charges of voluntary manslaughter after originally being charged with murder in 2022. Now, why are we talking about this now? Well, because now, like I said, he's being charged with, voluntary manslaughter. But in 2022, Mr. Andrew Wilhoit? I don't know why I always do this. I look these names up. I'm just gonna say Wilhoit. All right. I forgot how to pronounce it. Sue me. This man was 41 years old at the time. Okay, was a political figure, and he was on the ballot for the township board position in 2022. At the same time, this man was being charged with the murder of his wife, whose name was Elizabeth Nikki Wilhoit. Wilhoit. You know what I mean? Who was 41 at the time. He might have been a little younger. On March 25th, 2022, she was reported missing by her co-workers because she didn't show up to work. This is not like her. The same day, they found her body in a creek. She was deceased, and this was near the house where she lived. Nikki, which was the wife, had filed for divorce from her husband on May 17th. Now, May 17th is when she filed that. May 25th is when she found her dead. And she finished chemotherapy treatment for cancer not too long before that.
Nah, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
If somebody went through chemo and then you take their life, that's pretty messed up.
Mm-hmm. That's what when I read this, that's the first thing I thought. This lady just finished chemotherapy, got a second chance at life, and then got murdered. That's crappy. Now, they suspected that it was the husband, Mr. Andrew Wilhurt, whatever. In typical fashion, you usually suspect the spouse. Well, in this case, he was the culprit. He told police that he struck his wife on the head with a flower pot after an argument, like a real man does, I suppose. And then he dumped her body in the creek. The average, the norm, really. He faced 10 to 30 years of prison time for this crime. 10 to 30 years. That's it. On June the 4th. 10 to 30 years. For killing his wife. Alright? Now, in 2024, he has lesser charges of voluntary manslaughter. But the crazy thing is at the time when all this was going on, he received 60 votes of 276 votes for the Republicans for 3 positions in the Clinton Township Board. This man got enough votes to win the primary at the same time this was going on. So you're telling me that the President of the United States can't be moved into the big time position because people want him to, even if he sucks? Yeah, alright. America really seems like it's got its priorities in order here. Like I said, this isn't every politician. This guy just really sucks. I mean, really sucks. And you've already seen a picture of him. This dude is, even looking at him, he looks like a felon. I mean, say I'm judging if you want to. You've seen that picture. This dude looks like, you can see it in his eyes. Alright. Not all politicians like this though, thankfully. But enough of them are. That's the problem. So, a little weirder here. This still has to do with people in political, you'll see. We're talking about child marriage. Child marriage? What are you talking about, Scott? What do you mean? Well, I'll tell you. Fewer things are weirder than the phrase child marriage. Okay? I'm sure you agree. And like I said, you might be saying, why did I bring this up? I'm glad you asked. New Hampshire, that place that no one can point out on the map, may be the next state to ban child marriage. Ban child marriage, you may ask yourself. There's child marriage?
I didn't
yes, there is.
realize this until I read this. I always thought, well, I know you're going to get into the age, but I always thought it was 18. I always thought that.
As I did too, but this is the crazy part. When you don't know your laws, you really don't know. New Hampshire, like I said, might be the next state to ban a new bill called, listen to this name, Bill 359, great name, and it reads, no person below the age of 18 years shall be capable of contracting a valid marriage, and all marriages contracted by such persons shall be null and void, end quote. This is not the first bill in this state to be passed like this, because there was a previous bill that put the minimum age at 16. So the new bill, Bill 359, now says it's got to be 18. And before the last bill that put it at 16, it was 13 was the legal marriage age. 13 years old. These people are crazy. Okay?
How was that?
I don't know. See, here's what I don't understand. Was it that a 13-year-old could get married to somebody who was under 18? Because isn't a 13-year-old being with like a 20-year-old pedophilia? What is the legal gymnastics of this?
I mean, if a person was 13 years old, they can get married. I'm pretty sure they can get married to anybody. If it was the law, they can get married.
It's so weird. But Maine, I don't know if you know where Maine is, but Maine is like at the top.
I don't like that.
The top right state up there. Maine is like the only state in the northeast of the U.S. that allows people younger than 18 to get married. Delaware was the first state to get rid of child marriage. It was the first state to make it illegal in 2018, and many states have followed since then.
That was in 2018?
Yes.
Well, I thought the law was you had to be 18 years old for a long time.
See?
Most of my life.
And this goes to show that many people think that they know what the law says and they don't, which is scary. And they'll swear that they do. And I'm even going to show a map. Now you can see on this map there's different colors. Alright? And the colors represent what the ages and stuff are. Now, on the flip side of that coin, as you can see on that map, there are some states that have no restriction on marriage. They have no minimum age. And that's 4 on that map. Mississippi, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and big shocker, California. Those 4 states have no minimum age requirement to get married. It doesn't matter how young you are or how old you are, you can get married. Crazy. The California one is not so surprising to me because you got people out there, I don't even know. Dude, California is like if you took all the negative and just condensed it into one state. Florida's like if you took every crazy animal or like wild person in America and pushed them into a state. Florida is just, I don't know, dude. They got something going. I mean, California, they got something going on. I don't know. A majority of the states, like I showed on that map, the minimum age is 16 or 17. Our home state, South Carolina, the minimum age is 17 to get married.
So, if a person 16 decides they want to get married, ain't nothing the parents could do.
At 16? No, I don't think so.
So wouldn't an older person prey on people that are this age so they could just to be with them?
It's possible. They do that now. Like I said, I don't know the legal gymnastics.
18 is pretty good to me, I believe.
I mean, even 18-year-olds are immature, but yeah. I understand you have to have some age where you cut you draw a line in the sand between children and adults.
So, if you was a man, I'm just saying, and you meet a person that's this age, 16 or whatever, and how could you date them without, you know how, like if you meet up with a 16-year-old, cops come and arrest you or whatever, how do you go about dating somebody if you could marry them when they 16?
I don't know.
Like you spend time with them and they be like,
well that's like I'm saying,
because they're younger than you.
We see all these videos and all these TV shows and stuff where, we just busted this guy for being with a 15-year-old. But
that's what I'm saying. Like,
what? Yeah. But what if in that state?
What keeps them?
What if 16 is the minimum age to get married? What if like a 25-year-old wants to marry a 16-year-old? Is dating that 16-year-old illegal? I don't see how that's illegal, but marrying them isn't. Unless they hold marriage to a higher standard, but like even that's still weird. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's got to be some sort of legal gymnastics here. I don't get it.
would keep some pervert from moving to these states to marry a young child.
I don't know. Well, I mean that.
Now,
What do they care about that anyway? They got grown men walking into women's locker rooms.
Let me clarify something.
Yeah.
Now, if you have an older man and the woman's younger than him, the man ain't necessarily a pervert.
Mm-hmm.
I hear people say this a lot. If
you have like a 25-year-old with an 18-year-old.
Say if you had a man, he's 35, and the woman's 23 years old.
Okay.
Or a man could be 40.
Yeah.
So he's interested in her, and they talk. A lot of people call that man a pervert because he's interested in this young woman. I don't see it that way.
They're both grown adults.
A man could be a pervert.
Yeah.
But that don't necessarily mean the man is a pervert.
Yeah. I mean, they're both grown adults. You do whatever. Like, once you get past 18 years old, I mean, people can tell you that something might not be the best decision.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you could be 50 years old, and somebody could be 25 years old.
Yeah.
If they interested in each other and they really like each other and they got a good relationship, don't call a man a pervert.
You know, they have a word for that. Sugar mama and sugar daddy. It's usually, I mean, I've heard that, but
not always.
Not always. Love is a crazy thing. I've seen some strange things, but
I mean, there are perverts out here.
Well,
I'm just saying.
No, there are.
A man don't necessarily need to be called a pervert.
Yeah.
If he's interested in a younger woman.
Yeah. I mean, if they're both interested in, like, if they both like each other, then whatever. But if it's like he likes her and he just won't leave her alone, all right, that's different. Now he's being a little creepy. But I don't know. There's got to be some sort of legal gymnastics with this. But here's the weird thing, all right? This politics are a crazy thing, right? Democrat, Republican, I don't care who you are. Well, I do, because both of you guys can act stupid. But there was a Republican who commented on this bill. And this dude's name was Jess Edwards Jr. And this man said that raising the age to 18-year-old would make ripe and fertile teenage girls more likely to commit abortion if they got married. Now, I'm gonna play that clip for you right here.
Now, he had to say right.
Well, I'm gonna play that clip just so you know that I'm not joking.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for taking my question. Do you agree with the point of view that if we continually restrict the freedom of marriage as a legitimate social option, when we do this to people who are of ripe fertile age and may have a pregnancy and a baby involved, are we not in fact making abortion a much more desirable alternative when marriage might be the right solution for some freedom-loving couple?
It's a little weird. Now,
I don't know what to say about that.
Granted, to play devil's advocate here, the article makes it sound creepier than he sounds in the video, like you've seen. He just kind of casually says it, but it is still a very weird comment to make. He could have went about saying that way better. Ripe and fertile, probably not your best choice of words when talking about a young woman.
Right.
But
I think that's his mindset.
Well, as you saw when he said that, there was a lot of laughs in that statement. A lot of people found that funny. Probably not ha-ha funny. Probably more like, this dude is a weirdo funny. Now, I don't know if there's any evidence that raising the age is going to increase abortion. We live in a day and age where abortion is just like a normal thing, sadly. So I don't really think this is going to affect it.
So he don't want the age raised?
No.
No age he wants?
Whatever the age is now. 16 is the
Whatever
age.
states. Oh, is this everywhere or in New Hampshire?
This is in New Hampshire.
Oh, so he wants it to be 16?
Yeah. Because according to him, he's worried that if you raise the age, it'll make young women less likely to want to get married, which will increase the chances of getting an abortion because they feel like they won't be with the man that got them pregnant, and then it just caused problems. But like in today's culture, marriage and abortion are way different thought processes than they used to be back in the day. So like this dude's argument really doesn't solidify anything. You know, people don't really care about marriage. People don't care about marriage nowadays. Like non-Christian folk, or even some hypocritical Christians.
That sounds personal. That.
Yeah, I don't know. But that was a very weird. He did not make himself look good at all. This dude made himself look very, very creepy. I'm gonna be real. But I don't know. What can you do? Republican, Democrats, you both say stupid things. Both of you guys act dumb. How about just like work together like normal people? I don't know. Maybe I don't know anything about life, but whatever. You know, you've been a hoot this episode. I think if I did a montage of all you talking, it would be like 1 minute and 45 seconds.
I don't know. Some days it's like that.
No. No.
Some days are.
I talk all the time every day.
Nope.
During this I do.
You're quiet sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm sleeping.
Nope.
If you ask Kaylee, the only time I'm not talking is if I'm sleeping or I'm watching something I'm into. Trust me. Even I find myself annoying sometimes because of how much I talk.
Person.
It's amazing
The
that
nature.
it's amazing you're my father, yet we're so alike and so different. Because you barely talk, and I like barely not talk, and I think I get that from my mom.
You do.
Yes, so it's a good thing I'm on the show.
I'm a quiet person. What you want me to do?
At least when you do talk, you say things like Count Cracula. That is amazing.
Genius. Son.
That was really funny.
Genius.
Oh man, we got to get more followers, guys, because that would be a shirt. Us sitting here with a picture of a thought bubble over our heads with Count Cracula. That would be amazing. All right, we got the joke and the riddle. And the thing about the riddle is a lot of people are going to be upset. And that's okay. You can be upset.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to deal with it. But one person got it right. One person. And I'll tell you who that is in a minute. Okay, we're back. Alright? Now, like I said, only one person got the riddle right. And a lot of other people are going to be upset because they're going to claim that they should have the right answer. But here's the deal, guys. Get over it. It happens. Alright? Were you technically wrong?
No.
No. But were you right? No. So
get out of here.
Here's the thing. Okay. Get your hand off of my pants.
I just put my finger in his pocket.
Now here's the thing. I'm telling you, bro, she's weird. The riddle from last week was, what is as light as a feather, but the strongest man can't hold it for 5 minutes?
Person.
Whatever. 1, 2, 3 people put the word air. And that is wrong.
One person put water, which is
Definitely wrong.
definitely wrong.
Definitely.
Water, eh?
Yeah.
But
I wonder who put water.
I wonder. But one person commented right, and that was Michelle Bryan. Good job, Michelle, for getting the right answer, which was breath.
Your breath.
Your breath. Because now, before anybody cries, listen. You see what I'm doing? I'm holding air. Air is all around us. No, like he said, he told me this off camera. He said, no one says, yeah, I'm holding my air. No, they say I'm holding my breath. You can't hold your breath for 5 minutes, people. All right? But
You take my air away. Actually, it's you take my breath away.
Yeah. So to everybody who said air, you get participation points. Because technically you're not wrong.
You get a trophy, and you get a trophy.
But you're not right. Michelle Bryan, on the other hand. Michelle, good job.
Yeah.
That is the correct answer.
She saw all those airs, and was like,
You think
Bruh.
somebody hold it? You think somebody can hold their water?
I'm sure someone can hold their water. We're gonna have a
No, you get under the water and you inhale and hold it. Really.
Yes,
Somebody can do that.
Indefinitely, sometimes they do.
No, inhale the water now.
Yeah, I know.
And keep it in.
Yeah, sometimes they do that. Indefinitely. Yeah. So, good job, Michelle. Everybody gets a chance. Another chance. Don't worry, this is a weekly chance, people. Okay?
This dang fly is flying around.
Yeah,
Kaylee brought that fly in here.
she did.
Uh-uh.
I watched it.
No.
It was on her shoulder.
You know what that says?
No way, Jose.
The joke's gonna stink.
That fly knew what show it was coming to. That joke getting ready to feast. So
All right.
here we go.
I might have to say 2 jokes because one joke just isn't enough sometimes because
You're telling
just
me.
because they're jokes. They're my
All
jokes.
right. Well, here you go. Starting with your joke of the week.
All right.
Take it away.
All right. Do you see my phone?
No.
I didn't get it.
Leave the fly on something.
Okay.
I know you're hungry, but
I just ate.
So, I was wondering
Mhm.
why music
Mhm.
was coming out of my printer,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Apparently, the paper was just jamming.
Nice. What's your second one?
we be jamming.
Okay.
Don't get us sued now. No, he's too hot.
That's my version.
He way too hot right now.
That's
Don't-
my
Really?
version.
Who?
Excuse me?
He's way too hot in the charts right now.
Who?
Bob Marley, especially with the
Boss?
movie that just came out.
Okay, son.
No.
Back off of me.
All right, Keely. What's the second one?
All right.
Did you like that one?
Okay. So I just got over my addiction to chocolate, marshmallows, and nuts. I won't lie. It was a rocky road.
You don't like the ice cream? The dessert?
See? Told you. Where that fly? Hey, man,
That fly definitely came. That fly came to the right episode because those jokes stank.
Whatever. Those are my 2 jokes. Deal with it.
First one's alright.
First one's alright.
Yeah.
Paper
The
jam.
we be jamming definitely didn't add
We
anything
jamming.
to it. No.
We jamming.
No.
Well,
We're not doing this.
That Bob
that was my
Marley?
version.
Yes,
Don Riddle.
Nobody owns the word jam.
Yeah.
but they own the word we be jamming.
No, they don't.
I said we
We.
jamming.
Me be jamming.
We be he. All right. So what's your riddle, Kaylee?
Okay, so I got 2 riddles.
One for us, one for you.
One for y'all.
I'm gonna get it again. We should put a scoreboard up there for who gets it.
I don't care.
Ready?
Yep.
What goes up but never comes down?
Sky. Sun. Moon.
Stop tapping.
What do you mean? The sun goes up and down.
Oh, what goes up?
Well,
What goes up but doesn't come down?
a thought?
Night.
But you're like someone who doesn't rationally think about things.
What goes up?
This man said night.
Yep. What keeps going up but never comes down?
Prices. Gas.
No.
That's a lot. No.
What goes up but never comes down? I'm gonna have to edit this one because we're gonna have some long pauses. Up. I don't know.
No, it's an actual thing. Well, it's not an object.
Anytime you want to just give up, I'm all in.
What goes up but never goes back down? Would you like a hint?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta think of a hint. Hold on.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. That's a beautiful hint. What's it start with?
That's what you want for the hint?
Yeah.
Okay, A.
Air.
It starts with an A? What goes up and never comes
It's
down?
only a 3-letter word.
Asthma.
I just said it's only a 3-letter word.
That was after I said...
That was before.
Well, it's
Edit,
not
Scott.
air.
Edit, Scott. Rewind.
It's
only a 3-letter word.
Asthma. It's a 3-letter word. It starts with A?
Mm-hmm.
Antarctica. I don't know. Just tell us, Kaylee.
And
Your age.
I kind of feel stupid. Well, hopefully you guys do better than we did. Cause,
Oh, theirs is harder,
it
actually.
depends on who you are.
No?
Benjamin Button.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah, maybe if you're Jesus.
Benjamin Button.
Everybody else.
Opposite
No.
direction.
Your age still goes up.
Benjamin Button. He went down from Rogue Man.
Is he okay?
So when he was born, did he come out an elderly man?
All this hot air.
Can you imagine a woman giving birth to a 99-year-old man?
You know, okay,
Come
what?
out there. Put me back
Is
in
there
there.
like certain animals that like are pregnant for like a really extended amount of time?
Yeah, 5 years. The elephant. The elephant's-
Is that true?
elephant's
There
pregnant a
are-
long time.
there
Might be a
is
year
an
or
animal.
2 or something like that.
It
Yeah,
might be
there is an animal that like
Well,
is pregnant
Kaylee,
for years.
I'm
before they
glad.
give
I'm
birth.
glad you caught me at this time because I have been studying the biology of every animal on the planet, and I'd have to say it's the Galapagos duck. I don't know. Anyway, that was a great conversation we just had. Now get ready for your riddle, and
All right.
you have a chance. You never know.
Win
May-
$100,000. Not those, but somebody else.
You see that disclaimer going
Or take
across the
that
bottom?
back.
That's not true.
I said by somebody else.
Who never
You
knows?
will not win $100,000.
Who never knows? What? Who knows? Maybe if we start to get successful, we can do more than a shout out. Maybe we can send, I don't know, something in the
Maybe
future.
Scotty will send
Oh.
you and your family to Disney World. Scotty.
I ain't made of money.
Yeah, that'd be in 10 years when
That's
we're making
right.
$20,000 a year.
Yep. No, that'd be never.
$20 million.
Well,
How about
I want to go to Disney World.
how about a gift card to Denny's? All right. Okay. I don't know. Maybe in the future you'll get more than a shout out, but we'll see. All right, Kaylee.
Uh-huh.
As of right now, a shout out is good enough. So why don't you give them their riddle of the week?
Got it.
We gotta do intros.
The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
Oh, I know what this is.
That's it.
I know what this is. So you got it. Don't look it up. Don't cheat. Raymond, no, it's not water. So go ahead.
That man out like that.
First person that gets it in the comments will get a shout out next week. And you can be anybody. You don't even have to just be our family.
Mm-hmm.
We're not partial. Mm-hmm. If our family says something crazy, not calling any names here, but we'll shout you out. We don't care who you are.
yeah, that's what you should do.
What?
Shout out the winner and shout out the most ridiculous answer.
We can do that.
That's a good idea.
Now, don't just put a ridiculous answer on there to get a shout out.
Right.
Like, don't say something. Like, if the answer to Kaylee's riddle last week,
But Don Rickles.
yeah, don't put Don Rickles and think that we're gonna. Yeah, no.
It just comes to something
You know what? I should come here with curly hair.
natural.
Curly haired wig. Is Don Rickles curly haired? He's bald?
I'm not sitting down yet. She's as bad as you.
How was it
Yeah, he was bald. Don
Mm.
Rickles was
I
bald.
thought you said he was ginger.
when he was young?
That's.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Bo, you're talking about Carrot Top.
Oh, they're not the same person?
Yeah, they're the same person. They just have different names.
I don't know. Maybe Carrot Top was his nickname.
He's bald.
I don't know.
Carrot
I've
Top.
never seen a picture of Don Rickles.
Don Rivers looked old when he went old. Wasn't he?
Yeah, Don Rickles looked old when he was in
How
his
old was he when he
40s.
died?
Old.
What did he die of?
Age.
Oh.
I don't know.
Hey, that was the answer to the first riddle.
All right, Kaylee, let me escort you out.
High five.
Now, it's our new verse of the week in place of our theological question of the week, because it'll be a theological question of the month. So, like I said, it'll just be me this week, and then next week it'll be both of us. And then 2 weeks from then, it'll be a theological question of the month. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe we'll start at the first of the month, next month. My verse of the week, which is actually a couple of verses. It's everybody knows John 3:16. All right, everybody knows John 3:16. For this is how God loved the world. He gave his only begotten Son, so that anyone who believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. Everybody knows that. But I like John 3:18 through 21. This is the part that nobody wants to talk about. And it says, quote, this is Jesus talking, "There is no judgment against anyone who believes in me, but anyone who does not believe in him has already been judged for not believing in God's one and only Son. And the judgment is based off this fact. God's light came into the world, but people loved the darkness more than the light, for their actions were evil. All who do evil hate the light and refuse to go near it, for fear of their sins will be exposed. But those who do what is right come to the light, so others can see what they are doing, or so they can see that they are doing what God wants." End quote. That is just as important as John 3:16, because yes, Jesus did come into the world. He is the only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. But also, just 2 verses over, you keep reading from 18 to 21. If you don't believe in Jesus, you are condemning yourself to eternal separation from God, aka hell. Hell is just as important to talk about as heaven. Nobody seems to want to talk about hell, which is crazy.
Maybe that verse you just read, something came to me. Maybe people don't come to Jesus because if you come to Jesus, he'll change who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't want to get changed to who they are. They want to hold on to what they got, so they stay away from Jesus. Because once you do come to Jesus, you become somebody different. Mm-hmm. You don't stay the same regardless of what anybody else says.
Right.
So a lot of people know if they truly do come to Jesus, he'll change them. And once he sets you free, you free.
And like it said, people are, God and Jesus, they are the light. And people are afraid of the light because of the fear that their sins will be exposed. People are evil. Let's just be honest. That doesn't mean that everybody's bad, but everybody has that evil desire inside them. People don't like the light. You've seen the world that we live in. People don't like the light. So, you can't just read John 3:16 and also forget that there is real condemnation. There is real judgment. For people who say that Christians should not judge, they always pull up, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." Well, you like to cherry pick and just stop reading because it talks about judging people righteously. So there is judgment. We are supposed to tell people that their actions are going to cause them to be judged. It is not us judging you. It is not us condemning you. It is us telling you that you will be judged by God righteously. That's what we're saying.
Nobody can truly judge you. Only God can judge you. So what we do is not actually like the judgment in a biblical way that they talk about. We can't do that. That's what they think. Only God can judge you. We can, if we see you doing something wrong, we can come to you and we can show you what the Bible says about it. That's not judging. We can't judge like Jesus. But one day God will judge. So we can't do that. So they are right. We can't judge them in that sense, but we can come to them and we can correct people because it's okay to correct people in worldly sense. Why is it not okay to correct people in biblical sense?
Yes, and if if I say what you're doing is wrong, and you claim that that's me judging you, then you're mistaken. Because I'm just pointing out an observable fact. Like if I look at a car and it's yellow and I say that car is yellow, or if I look at a window and it's broken and I say that window is broken, I'm not judging the car or the window. I'm stating a fact. If I look at your life and you claim to be a Christian, yet you're going out and you're getting drunk and you have a wife and you're cheating on your wife, and I tell you, you're not living a righteous life. You're doing wrong. That's not me judging you. That's me telling you what you're doing. And it's me showing you that you're doing the opposite of what God wants. So it talks about righteous judgment. We don't have final judgment in the sense of God's judgment. We just have the ability to tell people that they're doing right or wrong in a human sense. So John 3:18 verses 20, or John 3 John chapter 3 verses 18 through 21 are just as important as the John 3:16. Alright, so that was mine. Again, he'll do his next week and I'll do mine next week, and we'll both do that in the theological question of the month. So there you go. That's it. That's all we got. I hope it was interesting. You know, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe we'll get... Hey, look. I really feel like Joe Biden now.
Like that's holding your water there.
What?
You're holding your water so it's going through your head. Holding your breath.
You tried. You tried your best.
Yeah. Sometimes best of us.
Yeah.
We mess up.
Yeah.
The best.
We will continue to do this, continue to share us, continue to support us. Who knows? Maybe 6 months from now, this podcast might blow up. And it'll only be because of everybody watching right now who finds this interesting. Hey, when I share stuff on Facebook, I get people from different states, Virginia or Georgia, in different places liking our videos. That's how far out they go. And I only get a couple of them like that. Now imagine if when we first started, we were only getting likes from immediate family. Now we're getting likes from different people in different states. In 6 months from now, we might be getting people liking us from Australia or New England or South America. And we might be getting hundreds of thousands of views. That is the hope. Because this is fun, right? This is entertaining. This keeps us busy. And, you know, maybe we can even make a profit off of this. That at the end of the day, that would be a nice thing. Because everybody likes to make a little extra money. And if we can do it while having fun, that'd be pretty cool too. So, we got some ideas. We have some ideas brewing. We got some ideas cooking in the mind. We got some things in the work. We got some things coming. So be patient for that. I feel like it's going to be worthwhile. And if Senor over here doesn't have anything else to say.
Well, folks, since it's Mother's Day, you know, just go out your way and love your mama. Let everything be about her and hold her a little tighter and, you know, just love on her and tell her how much you appreciate her and just make her feel special on this Mother's Day weekend.
Yes. And continue. Moms are important.
You can even love your mother-in-laws and tell her Happy Mother's Day too.
Mm-hmm. All the mamas in your life. That'd be a good call. So
you know, people like to joke on the mother.
Yeah, I know.
Mother-in-law.
It's the stereotype.
Father-in-law.
The mother-in-law, father-in-law stereotype. You know, at the end of the day, we're all
and also
family.
A lot of people that even might not have kids. Sometimes you a mother to somebody.
Yes.
Somebody looks up to you as a woman, and you're their mama. So they might. It's good to tell those people Happy Mother's Day too.
Correct. All right. we will see everybody next week. We got to get out of this hot studio. Like I said, this is. I'm gonna buy some soundproof paneling so the echo goes out. And maybe we'll buy a fan that you can't hear because it is a little funky and sweaty up in here. Yeah, it's not. This ain't no $100,000 studio right here. This is a
$1 million studio.
Maybe idea wise, but practical wise, boy, it's a hot box anyway.
Starts in your mind.
Yeah, well, I wish my mind could cool me off. So we'll see everybody next week. Have a good weekend. Stay safe and God bless.